And we are back with Congresswoman Tammy Duckworth of the 8th District visiting with us during her break. And once again, I so appreciate that you are. So many things to talk to you about. Let me just finish up. We were talking about Snowden. I wanted to have one other thing. The president says we should, not boycott the Olympics. You'll probably agree with him. But what is your sense? I mean, does Russia need to be taught a lesson? Some of their policies I know you don't agree with.
I don't agree with. But I also know that we have so many great athletes who've been training an entire lifetime, and I think the best thing that we can do is to lead by example, and to have our athletes there who may be bi, straight, gay, whatever, working together on the same team, competing equally. I think that is a very powerful message.
I want to talk about manufacturing with you. I know that you're concerned about that in your own district, and you've mentioned you're working with, I think that one with Roscoe, right, on a bill that ties...
Oh, no, actually Kinzinger.
Oh, Kinzinger, sorry, you did say that. All right. So in terms of manufacturing, here's the thing. You don't in the 8th District, you don't have manufacturing. We're not making cars up there, but you're making important component parts to a variety of things. That's also important.
We have the largest concentration of tool and die makers in the entire United States. Caterpillar has a lot of component manufacturers in my district, and Oshkosh Trucks, which produce the MRAPs for Afghanistan, has 22 suppliers in my district. Wow. So we are a major manufacturing district, and that's why earlier this week I actually had a manufacturing roundtable with, got the Export-Import Bank to come and our community banks, and let's figure out a way to support our manufacturers so that they can invest in producing goods and services in this country.
And my understanding is, well, a couple of things. I'll throw this out and you tell me the story. You're pretty happy with Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
I am. So I was just at one of these meet and greets as a brand new freshman, and I mentioned that I had a big manufacturing district, and people just looked at me like, the suburbs of Chicago? And I said, absolutely. And I mentioned that there are 3 or 4 manufacturers I've already met with who provide parts for Oshkosh Trucks. And the president of Oshkosh Trucks happened to be in the audience, and he came up to me and said, I don't think so. I said, go check. He called me back within the week and said, actually, I have 22 suppliers. So I went up to visit with him just a couple weeks ago and toured the factory, and they are now trying to sell, and they actually have a contract to sell fire trucks to China. And the prestige is that these are trucks made in the United States. They have a big Made in America plate, and that's what the Chinese want. And so the more trucks we can sell to China, those 22 manufacturers in my district, the more people they can employ, and the more our economy can grow.
Well, I was going to ask you that. I know when we see things and it said made in China or whatever, we have our own reactions to that. What is the reaction overseas when somebody sees something that's made in America?
It's a prestige item. That's why we're selling tremendous number of vehicles. We're selling our emergency equipment, our trucks, our aircraft. American made is still a sign of prestige and still a sign of quality. We just need to make sure to support our manufacturers as they compete in this global economy.
One of the things that the president tried to move forward with is his grand bargain. Let's cut taxes for corporations, and let's encourage, but that requires money, manufacturing. And once again, I mean, it sounded like a Republican plan to me. And Republicans say DOA, dead on arrival.
I can't even imagine why they would do that. The MRA that I'm co-sponsoring, that Mr. Kinzinger introduced, is a great example. It actually allows manufacturers to put money away before taxes into an account, like an IRA that you would put towards your savings account, and actually would reduce the tax rate for our manufacturers. So there are things we can do to fix this, and come on, it's time to support our industry because they're the ones that are hiring workers, and a lot of these manufacturers are actually small and medium-sized businesses.
Well, and once again, it seems like it's everybody's interest to increase the manufacturing. It seems like the agenda gets so personal, yet it makes no sense.
Right.
If they really are after the president not having a successul term, he's done at the end of this term. He can't run again.
Right.
So it doesn't make much sense, of course, unless Hillary then comes up next. But we'll
let's not cut off the nose of manufacturing to spite the face.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Let me also talk to you about the top 3 things I think that we put out there. I mean, we've got healthcare, we've got manufacturing, but people still need jobs.
Yeah.
What are we doing to get people jobs when when a job bill can't get through Congress?
Well, I need to do a better job of getting that jobs bill through Congress. I need to do a better job of talking with all of my colleagues, and something I've been doing for the last 7 months, and I will keep doing it. But also we need to fix a lot of these things. Whether it is lower taxes for our business owners, whether it is support for our manufacturers who are trying to find qualified employees and can't find them. Then we need to reach out to education institutions. You know, we have Harper College, College of DuPage, Elgin Community College in my district. All three are trying to get people into that manufacturing pipeline. I supported the Troop Talent Act. All those service members coming home, actually I introduced it, will now get these civilian certifications for their military jobs so we can get the employees into the pipeline, because there's a lot of manufacturers looking for employees and can't find them.
There's no doubt when we talk about military and vets, I mean, you know, there's no greater purpose that you serve and that you believe in for all the obvious reasons. You had an amazing moment it's been run on our show, on so many shows, with a gentleman named Mr. Castillo.
Yes.
He's been getting some funding from the government, and of course he said, well, I have some pain in my heel, I think it was, or his leg, from a sprain. Boy, you took him on and said, yeah, you understand what pain in the leg means. Tell me a little about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not proud of it because I lost my temper in committee, but this gentleman started a company, and 27 years after he was at prep school, playing football for a military prep school, he sprained his ankle. 27 years later, only when he started this company did he apply for veterans benefits. And he played 4 years of college football at San Diego State after that. Never had a problem. Wanted to get IRS contracts. And then he talked about the crosses he had to bear to defend his nation. And I think about all the men and women who served, you know, during peacetime, during wartime, those who were wounded, those who've given their bodies for 20-plus years of service, who are waiting for veterans benefits and can't get them. And yet guys like Mr. Castillo, who game the system, get veteran status and get.
And it's legal. What he's getting is legal.
Right. What he's getting is legal. He gets something like $600 a month, and he gets a 30% disability. But more importantly, he got priorities for contracts, and he got $500 million in contracts from the IRS.
Now, we saw that interaction, and you took him down pretty strongly. I don't know what happened after that. So, did you get an apology out of him? I mean, what happened after that?
No, I think he was a little stunned. He didn't say much. The IRS is looking into some of those contracts, and I think they've reduced some of those contracts. So he's not getting the full $500 million, but even, you know, $1 that he got over a veteran who truly sacrificed and served, whether in peacetime or wartime, is wrong.
Vets' claims have just been you know, bogged down. They're trying to make efforts. Are you pleased with that kind of progress, or do we need to make more efforts to get vets' claims heard and handled?
It's better, but not fast enough. It's better, but not fast enough. And one of the things that we need to understand is that the majority, over 95% of all veterans' claims for assistance are truthful and accurate. Time and time again, VA statistics have shown this, and yet because we're worried about the 5% of cheaters, we're punishing the 95% whom are dying waiting for their benefits. And so we need to just approve those. We need to, you know, trust our veterans, get them their benefits, and then go after the cheaters.
All right. You always join me when we have those Memorial Day, Veterans Day shows, and I always appreciate that. Just a few seconds left, so I just have to ask you, look, you're new to Congress, but your name gets thrown around, maybe governor, maybe senator, take on Mark Kirk. Are you thinking of higher office some point in the future?
Not at all. I am thrilled. I've been in my job for all of 7.5 months. I am loving it. I'm frustrated a lot by the lack of progress on the floor, but I love serving my constituents and doing the casework and meeting with the people who need me to help them. So I'm going to stay put for now.
All right. Well, you heard it here. All right. Thank you for being with me. Always good to see you. Congresswoman Tammy Duckworth of Illinois District, and we will be right back with some headlines in the news, political news. Bye-bye.